Warning: this content contains explicit material intended for mature audiences only. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hey, you're back! Well, now you are here, let me show you this monstrosity. This shiny thing is called the X-Rap Haku from Rapala. In the last few weeks, I'm thinking of these. In the last video, I already told you about glider jerkbaits and how effective they are. And I told you about the Rapala twitch wrap as well. Those gliders are charming, have an amazing action, and they don't have anything stupid inbuilt. The Rapala X-Rap Haku is something completely different. I mean, look at this.
At first glance, you might think, wow, these look gorgeous. But when you turn this upside down, you are in for a treat. What the fuck is this? Another bullshit system? Of course, this state-of-the-art system is called the 3R Rapala release system, and it provides better hookups, and unhooking the fish is a lot more easy. Does it work? I don't know, and frankly I really don't care. I hate those ridiculous so-called innovative systems.
I just don't understand. Most of those innovative features on lures are complete horseshit. I want to bet this 3R Rapala release system is completely useless. It's like the same thing as duct taping a plastic bag full of diarrhea on the ceiling. It probably won't fall as long as you make sure the duct tape is secure, but soon you realize and think there is no fucking reason for it to be there. I have mixed feelings about this glider. At first, this lure looks amazing. Reflective on the flanks, holographic eyes, and an amazing cool color scheme. They look like delicious fish candy. But then you have that completely ridiculous release system. That feature is probably also responsible for the insane prices they ask for these lures. It's like buying a very nice candy bar, wrapped in gold foil. One part is made from the most tasty real Belgian chocolate, peanuts and caramel, while the other part is made of solid hippo shit. Now for the Rapala's X-Rap Haku's opponent. This is also a glider and it's from Poland. It's the slider from Salmo. Those people at Salmo can do something with materials that other companies just can't do. They turn a piece of wood or plastic into something magical. Salmo has a huge fan base and you might wonder why. Well, they make lures with charm, simplicity and absolute perfection. But look at the slider.
Yeah, the shape is somewhat awkward. This weird thing looks like Quasimodo while trying to blow himself. Look at the hunchback, man. I'm not quite sure why that strange curve is there, but there must be a reason they shaped the slider like this. This glider is significantly smaller than the Rapala since I used the 10cm version, but they also come in a larger version as well. Even though the slider looks awkward, this lure is recommended by a lot of pike fishermen. To be honest and fair, I cannot wait to use these. Two different gliders will compete with each other in this video. It's the X-Rap Haku 14 from Rapala versus the slider from Salmo. Which one will be the most awesome? Let's see what happens. A windy day, a low pressure system and a pond stacked with pike. It's time for the Salmo slider to prove its point. May I compliment my camera guy for his eyes for detail? Yep, it's shit. Thanks a lot, camera guy. I'm fishing next to 4 big piles of poop. Ooh, that was a follower. Just try again. Wham! I got the bastard. Ooh, this fish is breakdancing with the slider. Fuck! When you see this face, you know that pike is in trouble. Big trouble. Because about 5 minutes later, I got the bastard anyway. There's another snot rocket, and boy, that one is feisty. It's a small one, but hey, it's a result. Okay, let's go into first person mode. To stay away from the bottom structure, I have to keep the glider in motion. So I jerk the damn thing like a maniac. But it works. That was one hell of a hit. This pike just couldn't resist. Another nice little toothy torpedo on the Salmo slider. Even though the slider is effective, the action is just weird. I struggle to fish this glider in the shallows. I'm constantly in complete focus to keep the slider from sinking too fast. But there's another one. One good hit and there's another cool pike. This one might be small, but gave me a decent fight. I have to give this tiny rascal some credit here. This one attacked fast.
Okay, the slider did the trick, but I hate to admit that I'm kinda confused. This lure is definitely a glider, but fishing this lure is as awkward as trying to wipe your ass in the dark with a piece of floss while doing a handstand. Or like a one-legged cat trying to bury a turd on a frozen pond. The usual way of reeling this glider in doesn't give the lure the action I want to see. It just wobbles a bit from left to right like someone drank 2 bottles of whiskey, a tray of beer, and a shitload of tequila in some obscure karaoke bar. All my sliders are slow sinking, but these sink faster than any other slow sinking gliders I've ever used. Using these gliders in shallow waters is really hard, but not impossible. But forget suspending it. It'll sink to the bottom really fast when you hold it still for a couple of seconds.
I don't know. I love the lures from Salmo, but this one gave me more questions than answers. It confused me and it took a while to find the correct reeling method. Even though the slider is really effective to catch pike, it kinda gave me the feeling that the slider is a bit like the disabled retard in the Salmo family. To me, the Salmo family is like the ultimate rock metal festival, and the headliners are Metallica, Guns N' Roses, Iron Maiden, AC/DC, and then there is Nickelback.
Does it mean the slider is a bad lure? No, it somehow works and it catches fish. The materials are very decent and the hooks are sharper than samurai blades. It just didn't give me the satisfying feeling of, having fun. It pushed me to focus all the time. I had to hold my rod in a specific angle while jerking it. Okay, that didn't sound good, but you know what I mean. I hate the fact that the slider is one of those lures you need a manual to fish it correctly. It also could be the gear ratio of my baitcaster or even the leader I used. Anyway, let's try the Rapala X-Rap Haku now and let's see how that one holds up.
The Rapala X-Rap Haku is an absolute pleasure to fish with. The suspension time is very decent and the action is great. There's a hit. A pike attacked the X-Rap in full force. Now look at this, the system released itself like it should. Believe me, that's a fucking miracle. Anyway, look at this magnificent specimen. Another first-person mode. This time I had a hunch about a small inlet, since those inlets are perfect for pike to hide and ambush the prey. My feeling was right. The pike fought like a maniac and tangled itself in my main line. but I managed to untangle it, and here it is. Story of my life. Little did I know that this small toss would give me a good scare. Holy crap, that pike scared the living hell out of me, but recasting the lure proved ineffective. That pike never showed up again, and that was a major bummer. At another spot I found a great place to fish. Great water quality, a little breeze, and whoa, one hell of a hard hit on the Haku. This fish felt heavy and feisty. It's a decent sized pike and it fought like a hooligan tripping on speed. This big fatso couldn't resist. Perfectly hooked, and man, this pike had a lot to eat apparently. And look at this, look at this! This state-of-the-art hook system did not release itself. Huh, why am I not surprised? Because I already knew that system sucked ass.
Let's start with the Salmo slider first. Even though that thing does catch fish, the slider isn't what I expected. I found the lure not that much fun to fish with. And it frustrated me enough to motivate me to find the correct way reeling this bastard in. And it constantly gave me the feeling I did something wrong. However, the slider did what it's supposed to do, right? You know, catch fish. Imagine you buying this hunchback-shaped piece of plastic for $14 a piece, thinking of how cool and awesome that thing looks. But reeling this lure in is a whole different story. That's where the shit factor rapidly accelerates at the rate of a frozen dog turd on a frying pan. It starts to smell real quick. I've seen better action from other gliders. A lot better actually. Don't get me wrong, I've used the slow sinking version and it could be that the floating version is better and I could be hitting Salmo fans in their balls with a fucking sledgehammer, but the Salmo slider slow sinkers are more like slow stinkers. They're effective and they catch fish. The fun factor however is just horrible and the action is as bland as a dog's penis wobbling from left to right while it runs. It's definitely not the worst glider I've ever used, but it certainly does not appear in my top 5. I'll give the Salmo slider a 5 out of 10. And that's disappointing. Now for the Rapala X-Rap Haku. This glider looks gorgeous and is without a doubt a beautiful piece. The holographic effects on the flanks and the eyes are absolutely amazing. There are no complaints in the beauty department. The action is wonderful. I really felt in control while fishing this lure. The suspension time is really long and unlike the Salmo slider, this lure is a real slow sinker. Perfect to catch those feisty predators. Fishing this lure was an absolute pleasure. The Haku really felt like how a Rapala product should feel. How does it feel, you might wonder? Well, it's like the perfect summer day. You know. The sun is shining, nice temperature, sitting on the beach with a cocktail. But then, a shitstorm is coming. All of a sudden the air starts to smell foul, like a fresh damp and cold up poop mountain from a camel in the heat of the Sahara Desert. It's the 3R Rapala release system. And like I predicted, that system is totally useless and is more of a hassle for the fish than it's a useful tool. 8 out of the 10 times that hook system did not even release itself from the lure, and when it did, the treble hooks could end up very deep inside the fish's mouth. This horrible hook setup is really affecting the score. The score could be really high for this glider, but this completely insane system fucked the whole thing up. There's a reason I hate those systems. They never work properly, or in some cases they don't even work at all. I'm forced to give the Rapala X-Rep Haku a 6.5 out of 10. Well, this is it for now. I'm planning to review a lot of lures, but I need your help. If you have any ideas about what kind of lures I need to review, or if you know any lures I could verbally destroy because they suck so bad, please let me know in the comment section below. And keep in mind, all of the reviews are based on a personal opinion. Some lures just piss me off and some others make me happy. I hope to see you next time. See you later.